Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It is a beautiful Friday morning, February 24th, 2023. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and in just general, address those topics that seem to be most relevant to you out in the field. Today, we're going to talk about side hustles. Side hustle is a weird term, and when I first heard it, I didn't really like it, but I guess it's best described as a side income or a side gig. A lot of people have jobs, and they're often interested in adding additional income so they have money to do more things, pay bills, or what have you, or just to diversify their income streams. So we're going to talk a little bit today about why being a guaranteed funding affiliate is an excellent side hustle. And we're going to go through 5 steps. So regardless if your side hustle is to be an affiliate or anything else, we're going to go through a 5-step process that I think you'll find very helpful. And this was actually referenced in Entrepreneur Magazine. Okay, so why is being a guaranteed funding affiliate an excellent side hustle? Let's start with an introduction, as we tend to like to do. So you and I know there's no cost to be an affiliate, so this isn't about selling you anything. But in general, when you're selecting a side hustle, I think, or a side gig or side income, one of the first things you want to do is to look at the money that can come from it. A common mistake that we see is that people have interests that really might be better categorized as a hobby rather than as an income stream. So according to the article in Entrepreneur Magazine, normally you're looking for something that you could reasonably generate at least $10,000 a month. Because if you're not making at least $10,000 a month in your side hustle, you probably won't stick with it, right? You'll probably get hot and start it and get cold and stop it. But a good side hustle could theoretically provide a replacement of your full-time income if it takes off for you or not. I know that when I worked full-time as an SBA advisor, what we typically would advise our clients there is start your new business as a side business. Once you have generated enough income to replace your full-time job, then consider working at full-time. Now, each entrepreneur is different, and some businesses just aren't well suited for a part-time effort. I respect that. But here we're talking about income opportunities, business opportunities that could be done on the side. I think one of the biggest failures in the article in Entrepreneur Magazine mentioned this is sometimes people take a rather lackadaisical or relaxed approach. Oh yeah, I want to do something, I want to make more money, but often they lack the discipline. So they don't take a structured approach. And that's in fact what we're going to talk about today as we go through the 5 steps, is that even if it's not meant to replace your primary income, because I know a lot of you make a lot of money, and it may be that an extra $10,000 a month doesn't warrant enough of your attention. I respect that. But for the average person, an extra $10,000 a month from a side gig, that's going to be helpful, right? Pay some bills. So we're going to talk about taking a more structured approach, whether you're one of our affiliates or you're considering some other side business, side hustle. A disciplined approach is much more likely to result in success. So let's go through these 5 steps to launch a successful side hustle. All right, so number 1 is we need to identify a problem. I think we'd all agree a successful business identifies a problem that others have and provides a solution to it. So I live in a small town, for example. And the small town I live in has a Pizza Hut. It had a privately owned pizza restaurant that went out of business, but no pizza delivery. And I know it sounds crazy. Pizza Hut doesn't deliver in our town. So I know I was thinking about, wow, it looks like a Domino's pizza would probably do well, even though our town only has 5,000 people, it's small. there's no way to call or go online and order a pizza to be delivered like most places have. Well, sure enough, someone bought the Domino's franchise. They're opening it March 1st. But regardless of the problem that you're solving, if we can't very specifically identify the problem that we're solving for others, it's probably going to be difficult to be successful because we're more of just a me too type of company. So, as 1A says, the first step in launching a startup should be to identify a problem that you can solve, a problem of others. Sometimes people see that and say, well, my problem is I need more money. Well, that's fine, but we need to solve other people's problems to be able to monetize it. Hopefully that makes sense. So our solution to that by being an affiliate is that I think it's an indisputable fact. Most small business owners want and or need additional capital to get started or grow their endeavors. As an affiliate, what do? We help them improve their financial literacy, and we help them access a minimum of $100,000, and there's no cost. So again, the guy that's opening the Domino's franchise in my hometown, he's spending a lot of money, 6 digits, to get that franchise, to build out the space for the pizza ovens, the restaurant. And so certainly there's different types of side hustles. The least risky side hustle would be one that you don't have to invest any money in, because you can't lose if you don't have any money invested. So, but the point here, again, extracted from Entrepreneur Magazine, is we need to first identify the problem that we're solving. Sometimes we have clients that come to us that's going through the program, and I think sometimes they have not identified a problem that they're trying to solve. And that's one of the reasons that we work on business plans together to vet through that. And actually, you'll see business plans a bit further down the list. So we'll get there in a moment. So 5 steps to launching a successful side hustle, regardless if it's being an affiliate with us or not, is to identify the problem that you can solve. And then we've talked about how our model works in terms of solving small business owners' problems and helping them improve financial literacy and getting at least $100,000 to start or grow a business. Are we good on number 1, everyone? Great. So let's move on to number 2. It's important to understand how you're going to monetize your side hustle. And so when I worked at the SBA, I had a young lady that came in, and she had a real interest in doing screen printing. And by the time we put together the numbers, it just didn't hardly generate any profit. So it could have been a hobby for her, but I think we want to be thoughtful. If we're going to spend our time on something, how will it monetize? How will it convert into income? And so again, that links to planning, and we'll talk about planning more on number 3 in this list. But we want to have a plan to make money, not just hoping we will. And so in our model, our affiliates earn on average $3,000 for each client referred. And I think, you make 3 points for each client that's referred. We guarantee the client a $100,000 capital raise. So 3 points of 100,000 is 3,000. That's not a big deal. I know a lot of you, an extra 3,000 doesn't even get your attention. But that's where if we take a disciplined approach and say, well, what if we were to help 1 client a week? Nothing exceptional, just 1 client a week. Well, months have 4 weeks in it. So 3,000 times 4 puts us at 12,000 a month. Well, that meets that criteria that we were looking at, that an effective side hustle should generate an extra 10,000 or more per month. I know some of you have higher expectations than just an extra 12,000 a month from a side gig. And so it's real simple then. All right, well, let's multiply that. Let's develop a plan. Again, we're going to talk about planning here on number 3 in just a second, but let's just plan to help 2 clients a week instead of 1. That, of course, doubles our income. And I think most of us would agree, if we could generate an extra 24,000 a month, that's good. Now, where does that money go? Sometimes some of our affiliates are small business owners of some other unrelated business. Well, just think about that for a moment. If they became an affiliate with us, use this as a side hustle, and now they have an extra $12,000 a month or $24,000 a month being deposited into their business bank account, that increases their capacity. Remember, we always talk about the 3 C's. If you want to borrow money, it comes down to credit, collateral, and capacity. Capacity means cash flow. Can we demonstrate that we can afford to pay back the debt that we're wanting to borrow? Well, this is one of the strategies, not the only one, but one of the strategies we have for clients who have inadequate capacity is to put an extra $12,000 to $24,000 a month. In general, lenders would consider a business credible if there's at least $10,000 a month in business bank deposits going in. And that's one of the reasons we set this model up, is the average affiliate should make at least $12,000 a month. And so if what they're trying to do is to take this cash flow, inject it into their primary business to be able to qualify for funding, it meets that criteria. All right, are there any questions that anyone has so far on what we've covered thus far? 5 steps to launch a successful side hustle. First, we need to identify a problem that we're going to solve. And we've talked about the solution we have as affiliates. And then you need to understand the economic model, how you're going to make money. Are we good so far? Okay, so let's move on to number 3. And I hinted towards this a couple times. We really need to have a business plan. If you're like me, it's real simple to say, business plans, that sounds like work, that sounds like effort. I don't know that I want to do that. But it's just been proven that business enterprises, whether it be side gigs or primary gigs, if that's the right terminology, if you have a written plan, you're much more likely to be successful. So let's flip that over. If you don't have a written plan, you're much less likely to be successful. Additionally, if you don't have a written business plan with goals and projections, it's very difficult for anyone else to coach you, to mentor, to support you, because no one really knows what the plan is. So what we encourage, don't require, is that every one of our affiliates have a written business plan. But regardless of our model, let's go back to the topic. So a written business plan outlines the goals and strategies of your business, much less likely to be successful. So I skipped that. I apologize. So in our model, we would like each of our affiliates, and I think in the past 24 hours, we've added about 35 new affiliates. So, I mean, it's nothing outstanding, but we're growing quickly. And so what we offer to do is to assist every one of our affiliates in having a written business plan. So that way we've identified, we know the offering and we know the financial model, $3,000 for each client referred, but there's going to have to be some implementation. Who is our target market? How are we going to get leads? And what are we going to do with those leads, for example? So we're more than happy to provide a written business plan for each affiliate, work with them on, and then have one-on-one coaching, because we're much more likely to be successful if we have someone that's working with us that is kind of an accountability partner, right? We call it SMART goals: specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and timely. And it's just proven. Very successful CEOs of businesses have coaches or mentors that work with them. So it's not an embarrassment to have someone that we work with to vet through our goals and help motivate us and help us be accountable to our plans. So 5 steps to launch a successful side hustle. We're talking general, and then we apply it to the affiliate role. Identify a problem, understand the economic model, have a written business plan. Let's go on to number 4. So number 4 is to launch. And this is another area that we frequently see entrepreneurs come up short. They have some idea, they have some interest, but it's surprising sometimes they don't take action. I have a client that I was working with earlier this week, and we got him his first round, his first tranche of funding. So that was successful. I forget, it was around $50,000, but that's not the entire capital raise that the client wants or that we promised. So now we're working on the next tranche, next round. And so I was speaking to him, and I'll leave his name out of it. I was speaking to him, and I said, okay, well, we got the first tranche. We really need to launch the business, right? We really need to show that we have a viable product. His business is a service-based business that's not capital intensive. And so, it's vetting through this hesitancy that some people have of not executing. And so here he is, he's sitting on that first tranche of financing, and he still doesn't have any clients. He still doesn't have any income coming into his business. So we're not growing the business. We're not increasing our borrowing capacity because, frankly, it's almost like the first tranche wasn't used or not used effectively. So regardless of the side hustle of the business, we need to go take action. And part of that action, which probably should be outlined in the business plan, is let's go get some clients. We've got to find some way to make money with these businesses. We can't just think about borrowing. At some point, we have to earn income. Now, I respect for some businesses, we need to borrow to get the inventory, the equipment, whatever it is, to be able to execute. I understand that. But for some, it's just, man, we need to do it. We need to do it and make some money. So in our world, launching is remarkably easy because we provide every affiliate a free website/link. It's provided upon sign up, and we're ready to go. I mean, our affiliates are open for business, I'd say in less than 24 hours, but really in less than 1 hour, we're up and going. So lesson number 4 is we can't expect results without effort. Now, I'm with you. We should try to preserve our time and preserve our effort because there's other things that we may want to do with our time or effort. But we have to launch. We have to be open for business. And that is certainly an important step. And the 4th step of how to launch a successful side hustle is to launch. All right, 5th and last is to secure funding. Most business models require capital, but of course, different business models have different capital requirements. So I respect that. But if we don't yet have enough capital to execute our primary business model, that's where this whole side hustle concept can come in. What can we do in the meantime to generate some income while we're working on our capital raise for our ultimate goal? I have a client in Chicago, wonderful woman, and we're in the process of getting her funding. She's had her first tranche. We're on to the second tranche now, but getting funding to open a men's health clinic. And that's very capital intensive. It's not a franchise model that she's doing, but it's close enough. So there's those franchise fees and hiring a doctor and getting the office space and getting all the equipment. So it's involving. Well, that's what we're working with her in the meantime is, all right, well, while we're getting that larger capital raise, the funding that's required for it, certainly we can start generating some side income in the meantime. But in terms of securing funding, with the understanding that different business models have different capital requirements, what we do is offer to help every one of our affiliates. Let's get you $100,000. What could you use it for? I mean, it's unrestricted. It's up to you. Do you want some money for marketing? I don't think affiliates need a budget for marketing, but you could have that. Do you want to put yourself or others on payroll? Great. We've talked about how verifiable income improves the profile and the credibility of an applicant. And so we can actually put the affiliate on payroll. When you have demonstrated verifiable income, of course, we have more borrowing capacity, other overhead, debt consolidation, hiring staff, or what have you. So if you're not an affiliate, you're certainly welcome to become one. And that's not really the goal today, but you can do that on guaranteedfunding.org on the partners page. But let me make it a bit smaller. Our goal today is quite simple. It's to talk about the concept of side income or side hustles. As referral partners, as distribution partners, like you and I work together to help small businesses, in some cases, some of these folks really will benefit from some sort of side hustle while we're working on that larger capital raise, like the young lady in Chicago that I mentioned. And so our affiliate program pays overrides, right? So if you brought someone in as we'd call them a sub-affiliate of yours, you get overrides of that, plus they make the money, all right? So if they're out there making $3,000 for each client they refer in, I think you make 1,000 override. You make 1 point override for each client. And so is that a big deal? No. But if you fit into the big picture, if you have clients that need more earned income, they could become a sub-affiliate of yours. They could go out and earn their extra 12 or 24,000 a month or whatever it is they want. And then you're earning overrides from their production. So that helps you as well as helping them. So in summary, and then we'll open it up for questions. Our goal today was talking about the 5 steps to launch a successful side hustle. And part of this was extracted again out of Entrepreneur Magazine. So it's not just relevant to your and my world, it's relevant to all. And so we've said that step number 1 is we need to identify a problem that we have a solution for. We need to understand the economic model of how we're going to make money. We should have a written business plan, even for a side hustle. We need to launch. We need to execute. Just thinking about it's not going to make us money. And then if you need, we can help you secure funding to have the adequate capital needed. All right. So who has questions, comments, concerns on today's training? I think it's a helpful checklist that maybe is relevant to you as an individual, but I think it is especially relevant if you're interfacing with your leads and your clients, and you see some folks that just could benefit from extra income. You can bring them on. They become an affiliate. When they become an affiliate, they're your sub-affiliate. You get overrides, and they make the money that we've discussed. So again, you can become an affiliate right here. Now, there's other side hustles that you can do. So you could go to H&R Block and get prepared to do taxes for people and make, I don't know, whatever they're going to pay you, $15 an hour. You'd have to work a whole lot of hours to make 12 or 24,000 a month. And so that's one of those things when we're looking at side hustles, we need to understand the economic model. There's lots of things I bet that you and I would enjoy doing, but if it doesn't monetize properly, does it make sense to spend our time on it? All right, well, we're going to wrap it up today. We tend to wrap up Fridays early. Again, if you have questions, comments, concerns, you know how to reach us. If you're not an affiliate, you're welcome to do so. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to buy anything. There's no strings attached. There's no performance requirements. It's super simple to become an affiliate. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.